Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, no, it's 80% hatch rate.
Is there a way to postpone that? No, I'm joking.
That there is, Karen, did tell me she forgot about it, wherever you want to put that in.
All right, just so everybody's aware, we will be going live here in just a minute if we have not already. So live, it'll be on here in just a minute if it hasn't already come on, because he's got it set up to come on automatically at 6:30. But we will still be waiting for the other board member to arrive. Without saying anything silly on live.
That'll happen because you forget.
I kind of already have. It's not big enough to be in my face. I'm sure. Did you remind him that it's being recorded? Did you remind him that it's being recorded?
No.
Oh, no.
How you doing?
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, don't forget, we're on camera today.
Okay.
Keep your composure.
Yeah, I gotta get out of the way.
All right. I think we can begin. I will make a motion to open the Owensville Town Council Board Meeting on June the 3rd, 2025 at 6:33 PM.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. If you all would, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded. Anyone who speaks is giving permission to be recorded and posted to our YouTube channel and town website. Virtual participation is not monitored, so you can virtually watch the meeting, but if you need or want to speak, it must be in person. All right.
So nobody can ring in and try.
No, there will be no.
They have to be in person.
They have to be here. All right, so approval of the meeting minutes. You had time to take a gander at those?
Yeah.
Just one thing, Vanessa, on the minutes, the approval of the curbs. You put that he could present a bid, that should be couldn't.
Okay,
So just make sure that gets changed.
yes, I will.
Other than that, everything looked good to me.
Okay.
So, make a motion to approve the May 13, 2025 Owensville Town Council meeting minutes.
A second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the accounts payable vouchers.
Yeah.
Had a moment to take a peek at those. All right, make a motion to approve the town's claims from 5/13/2025 through 6/3/2025 in the amount of $184,258.41.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Park and Rec meeting minutes. I didn't have any issues. Do you have any issues?
No, man, everything's in order.
Okay.
Financial report, patrons.
I will make a motion to approve the Park and Rec Board meeting minutes from Tuesday, April the 29th, 2025.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then the vouchers from the Park and Rec. Looks like the-
Yeah.
Got their fence paid off this one. So, make a motion to approve the claims from the Park and Rec Board from 4/30/25 through 5/27/25 in the amount of $45,017.41.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I apologize for that.
All right. Huh?
We're skipping that approval of the recording meeting minutes, mark that out.
Oh, yeah. Lose track of where I'm at. Let me get my pen out. All right, so you got your answer on your 32 meters. You got your, so the question that we asked was, since they're being hooked to the, bouncing off the cell towers, is it gonna cost us anything per month, per meter? And the answer is yes, $10 to $20 per meter. And that's being paid to Neptune because they're not for sure which cell tower it's going to be bouncing off of.
It's
So-
only included in their yearly plan.
Right. So that one, I thought maybe that was something else I was looking at. Or no, where was that, 600 and,
640.
oh, there it is. I knew I seen it somewhere. So
Yeah.
it'd be roughly $600 a year for the meters that currently don't reach, correct?
Correct.
And this is just making them reachable.
Where they can be more easily located.
Right. Right. It gives everybody the leak detection and stuff like that. Great. So,
Yeah.
okay, so this is this is the appropriation where it's coming out of,
Yeah.
and that's the price, so we'd still have
We still have,
15,000 in
yeah.
there.
Yeah. That's,
All right, so,
that's gotta be done.
yeah. All right, I'll make a motion to purchase the additional 32 meters from Utility Supply Company for the amount of $10,880.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. And that will come with the $600 to $640 cellular payment annually.
So this one's for the rusty panels on the lift stations.
Sorry, just making sure I got everything separated here. Okay. So we've got two quotes for replacing the Hillcrest lift station panels, the control panel.
Yes, I only have one quote for the Bittner panel. The one from Pump Logic hasn't came in yet for the Bittner panel, but I do have two quotes for the Hillcrest.
Okay. So today we're,
We still need that other bid.
so
For the Bittner station.
Yeah, for the bid station.
oh, okay, so there's the Hillcrest.
But they're basically two different jobs, I mean, depending on if.
Right, that's why I'm trying to look at the Hillcrest
Yeah.
for both, because they're kind of separated here. I don't think we necessarily have to have three, we got what we got. Yeah. So what is the likelihood that you're going to need a septic hauler? And what is the price on that, above and beyond what we got here?
Likelihood is, it's not very likely that we would, because we could schedule it for like a low flow day when we, you know, when there's not much use, like if we had a heavy rain or something. I'm trying to think of what Hydromax charges when we do the PMs.
So when you do a PM, you have the solid soak out.
Yeah,
That's part of the PM.
they suck everything out, each lift station's power washed, it's sucked dry, and then they pull the pumps and they check the pumps. And that's, Hydromax is included in that bill, so I'm thinking it's like $600. And that's for them to do 3 stations, and they're here half the day. Even when we had that one pump
Now,
explode,
you said Hydromax,
yes,
what do they do?
they're the ones who suck out the lift stations.
Okay, okay.
$600 for 3 lift stations, pressure washed and sucked
I'm
out.
pretty sure that's, I mean, it's under $1,000.
Okay, so we're not, if it has to happen, we're not talking a major
No.
expense on top of what we're
No.
already spending. Okay. And it's, so, Strafer, however you pronounce it. So they put the note on there saying that this doesn't include that.
Right.
Is that the same with
Yes.
Pump Logic, it does not include that?
No, they do not.
Okay. I was just asking because Pump Logic is almost $2,000 more.
Right. Well,
on this.
it was more than that, but I talked to him, he lowered it like $2,000. Pump Logic is, he's like a private contractor. He's kind of out on his own. And Strafer is a huge business. I figured Strafer was gonna be way more than what they are, but it is what it is.
So with these being as close as they are together, who are you more comfortable with? Because they're not too far off one another. You're the one that works with them. You think straight?
It's a larger county.
Well, I think it's like apples to apples.
Yeah, it's,
Well, I mean, if you have a preference, then we'll just go with the lower bid. And we've got two bids from them that cover both
Right.
lift stations.
what do you think? Doesn't really matter either one. Doesn't really matter either one, it's the same.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, we're doing the same work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks almost identical. I mean, except for just a quick price difference, so.
I mean, I work well with both companies, so.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. Good with these two? You don't have to take cost. Okay. You can make a motion on both of them if you'd like.
I will make a motion on accepting Strafer Pump and Supply Inc. for the control panels at Hillcrest and Big. Is that right? Is that what we're,
Yep.
that's what we're doing? Yeah. So, yeah, they were the ones.
You need to say the amount out loud.
Oh, sorry about that. Make a motion for accepting $9,939 to Straker Pump Company for the control panels for Hillcrest Lift Station and Bitmer Lift Station.
It's, I know the price for the bigger one.
$10,000.
$699.
$10,699. Okay, now I'm seeing it. I thought it was, yeah. So 19,000, whatever that adds up to. What's that add up to?
Well, you can just do them separate if you like,
Okay.
so.
So I make a motion to accept both of those amounts from Straker.
I will second that. All in favor? Aye. So go for Stratford?
Strafer.
Strafer, names anyway. Okay. Doctor's office. We got some quotes in for getting some things fixed. Rick, you got any say so in this one?
No.
All right.
Did your government fill up?
So we've got the water lines in the doctor's office. We have 3 bids from that one. Got Bud's Plumbing, Perfect Climate, and Alt Stott.
We are talking about the old one.
Yes.
Dr. White used to go with. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I thought.
They had, the lines frozen, busted. They haven't been back on since. So this is just replacing the water lines.
So
And
Get this straight,
Right.
We're looking at plumbing here.
Right, and then Denning Brothers is the only bid for the
Yes.
inside of the office.
Yes.
And we would just tighten also. Holy cow.
What's that?
Oh, that's so much difference. I got that one too, yeah, right here.
Yeah, the perfect climate was quite a bit more.
Yeah,
And they're all doing the same thing.
yeah. Wonder why so much cheaper, I mean. Just long ramp steps. See that in there? Buds.
So, Rick,
Yeah.
just some clarification. So on the Buds Plumbing, just checking the differences between the bids for Buds and for Altstot. So Altstot is talking about replacing lines for one kitchen sink, or they just put one kitchen, one water heater, one laundry?
Should be three things. They may not put it on there, but I think we're usually what took them down there, correct?
Yeah, there are there's two other rooms.
You
Each
should
room
all-
has a sink.
Yeah, you should all
Yeah.
buy things, they know they gotta wire them all up.
Okay.
Alstott's coming. Yeah, there's two sinks on Allstot's. You see that?
Yeah, I see it now. They put it down there at the bottom. All right, well, I'm just leaning toward that one because it's cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. What's the name of the game?
I mean, they're all the same. They're all using it.
Yeah. One here is this Bud's Plumbing, is everybody gonna have to remove the ramp, Rick? Is everybody gonna have to remove the ramp to gain access to the crawl space?
Yeah,
So,
we can do that,
Yeah.
that's not a problem.
okay,
It's
so
gonna be
they
something
will,
tore out anyway.
Yeah, it's junk,
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
it's gotta be done, and it's gotta be something put out front too.
Oh, that's cool.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve, Allstott plumbing for the water lines in the building that will hopefully become a doctor's office someday, for the amount of $2,795.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you see this here too? I think that's kind of why. Yeah, if it has to go to the main, it's gonna be another, yeah. But that comes in, what it should be still with. Kind of seems, but it's really, yeah, that's good.
All right, do we have, on the flooring, do we have any idea how much the flooring is gonna cost? Like, some kind of estimate? I mean, we can approve the labor,
He said
but we
something
need to have a
about
price to approve for
having
the,
like the stop floor,
right?
putting this tile in. Is he said he did this here, maybe put this kind of floor in.
Okay.
The floor here feels pretty solid, it's just from where the water damage was in the kitchen. It's
Wavy.
rolled that up, so it would have to come out, but that wouldn't take him very long to do that.
So you think the subfloor's fine, just the
If
floor?
not fine walking through,
Okay.
just you can tell where the old vinyl.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how we can approve without knowing the cost of the materials. Can we over?
I don't know how you determine labor without knowing what kind of flooring it is either, what if it's like ceramic tile or something completely different.
Well, yeah, that would definitely change it, but I mean,
But if it's gonna just be this, and you don't think it'd be very difficult, then you could, if you wanted to, but this is just an estimate anyways,
Right.
it's not like a final price.
I could have him get more pinpoint.
And either way you wanna do it, table it until you get more information, or,
Yeah, because well, I feel more comfortable doing that because, like, flooring can be cheap. Or you put something, it can, just the price can.
right. Well, was it gonna, with it being used as a public place, you definitely don't wanna go too
No.
cheap,
No.
cause then you'll be redoing it.
you know,
So, yeah, if you would, see if we can't get some kind of number, that way we're not overly approving for this.
That's not like we're.
Do you want to do the labor and materials to widen the doors? Do you want to approve that?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
And that could, that go ahead and begin it
Then
done.
we can go ahead and get that part done.
that would help too.
Go ahead.
I want to make a motion to go ahead.
The
I'm sorry.
exterior doors, that was part of the widening was gonna have to be, also didn't say it over here, for a wheelchair.
The front one's 36.
It is 36.
Yeah, we measured it, the back one will be 36, the bathroom doors will be 36, and both offices will be 36.
Okay,
So we're,
The hallway is straight up 36.
yeah, we're there then.
so all of them will be wide enough for wheelchair access?
Yep,
Right.
has to be that way.
Yeah.
It just read interior, so they were questioning.
Okay.
Yep. I was on top of that.
Good.
So I'm gonna make a motion to accept the Denning Brothers labor and material to widen 3 interior doors in the amount of $2,200 and to table the labor and installing of flooring for $4,500 until we find out more details about what type of flooring and the cost of materials on that. Does that sound good here? That
Yeah.
sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get that.
I will second that motion. All those in favor? Aye. Which was? Yeah, I know. I can't even pick out my own roof.
Yeah, no kidding.
Roof over here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think difference, I see the difference. Yes, that
Some
question is-
difference in the
yeah.
two bids.
Yeah, that's,
I mean, it's huge, and this one's gonna depend a lot on what type of materials you use also.
yeah.
Okay, on the roof bids,
Yes.
on the Eric Denning one, he was only planning on trying to replace some of the deck boards. Titan said they wanna replace all the deck boards, plus take the stuff off the back of the roof that doesn't need to be there, like that chimney that's up there, the 2 swirly birds that are up there, just a couple things that need to be there.
Yeah.
And then the shingles they wanna use, they're not the kind where they'll flake off or like the granules will come off off. These were like a poly style, and they have like a lifetime warranty on them, which is generally around 50 years.
Yeah.
That's what Titan wants to use.
No.
They use like a GAF type
Yeah,
roofing.
yeah, they got up, when they came and they walked on it, that was the first thing he said was, we're out to do deck boards. So,
So, basically, Denning Brothers, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but Denning Brothers quoted a patch job. Basically, and then we're talking about Titan doing basically a complete roof.
So Denning Brothers is going to tear all the shingles off,
yeah, all the shingles will still come off.
but just part of the
he's gonna
decking.
Replace whatever deck boards he thinks needs replaced, they want to replace.
Right.
all of them. Now, they may not replace all of them and the price will go down, but the way he was thinking was, if we're gonna do it, just do it.
Mhm.
So, that part, that doesn't,
I'm not so much
So-
on, but you know, dealing with roofing. You know what I mean? That's kind of an insurance policy that we don't wanna revisit.
Mhm.
That's quite a bit more than a million.
You got an idea where this one's coming from?
I think I got the money.
And we're okay with it, like,
If we go with, if you go with the larger one,
Mhm.
yeah, I have the money.
Sounds like.
I know realistically, we're probably not gonna make the 50-year mark, but I like the idea of making it the best part of 50 years rather than
Yeah, yeah.
10 years down the road, we're having to revisit this and put a new roof.
I agree,
Yeah.
no sense in banding. It'll get more expensive down the road.
Mhm. All right, well, I'm gonna make a motion to approve Titan Construction to replace the roof on the town building for the bid that's in the amount of $14,170.
A second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I'll, we'll call these people that got it tomorrow and get them lined up on start time.
Okay.
It'll be good.
Okay.
We'll get it on.
Yesterday. Yesterday.
I don't know if I can get them here yesterday. They may not be too far.
All right. So-
I guess they have to.
Yeah, you do, you do.
The Wilder's property, we've got 3 quotes, 4 quotes, 4 bids. A couple different options on the job that's gonna actually be done, which makes each bid drastically different. That's, so what we need to figure out tonight is what we wanna do. So if you, one of you two could explain this vivid detail.
Vivid detail. Okay, so what do you wanna know first?
All right, so, let's start with,
What, can I stick?
yes, absolutely, go ahead, ask a question.
Crystal excavating,
Okay.
why is theirs so cheap?
They want to, that option is to just run a gravity-fed line to the existing lift station
Okay,
with a backflow valve. Now, me personally, I've seen that lift station higher than where they're planning to have the drop off into the lift station. which if it got to that, it wouldn't work. It would still back up.
It would back up again.
Yeah, that's the first option. The second option is the lift pumps. Now, I don't have all, or I didn't see all of the quotes. I didn't see Bud's, I didn't really see Keith's. But Keith and I went over there and talked quite a bit. Well, we went over there with Allstott and Bud's also, and they had different ideas on lift station pumps to get it up and away from their property. I think Allstott's option was to put the station by the house, but then pump right back into the lateral for the sewer main that runs along there instead of to the lift station. Well, I know that there's a lot of head pressure on that line. There again, I don't think that option would work. The option that would work would be the lift pump with the lift station where it gets directly to our lift station.
Yeah.
There at 168. I don't have the numbers in front of me about, what one's what, but,
Can I interrupt for a second, just to go back and get a question? The main sewer, like you said, has got a lot of head pressure on it. Is that the one that we have issues with a lot where it's squirting out of the manhole?
exactly.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they're wanting to try to force back into that main. Right, it's got too much head pressure, it won't.
Yeah,
Yeah. They've shot the elevation on that, and the gravity feed, was it like a foot, 10 inches
Yeah.
from Pat's?
From the bottom of her basement floor to
Yeah.
the high level roughly in that lift station is a foot difference. Actually 10 inches. But at one point in time, when I was shooting, doing everything, Pat said that water in her basement's been that high.
yeah.
So you know that everything levels out. When it back feeds into her basement, it's a
Well,
So
part of
liability.
this, that's right, part of the, you just said exactly what I was gonna say. Part of this is liability. When we get to this, what, and don't take me wrong, Pat and Jack, but what protects the town from being liable for having to buy their house? You know, if it comes to the point where there's that much damage, I don't know how you guys put up with that. I
Neither. We're still married.
yeah, that's amazing. But, yeah, that's an issue to me.
Not to step on Billy's toes, but you did pose the question last meeting that said, can we 100% guarantee this will happen?
Yeah.
I think that way is the closest we'll ever get to that point.
The lift
You
station.
can't guarantee anything at that.
No.
But that is a lot closer. The only thing would be how we wanted to do the power. If we wanted to run the power off us, or run the power off them, and then reimburse them for the power. We could run it off us when he's laying the trench, he could do the power. And it's in his bid. That's all electric and everything, so.
Does this include, just act like I'm ignorant on this stuff, a backflow preventer?
yeah, there's one on the inside the,
So that's part of this system?
yeah.
So if the system fails, the backflow preventer should,
Yeah,
Should
it'll
protect
be in
us.
place, but it'll never be able to work, because that water will never come up higher, up over the pump.
Okay.
So it'll never siphon in. And I guess for a little bit of clarification, the way that system's been working, they've been shutting the valve. So, we didn't have engineering plans, so I spent the last couple days of getting everything perfect as I could. When they shut the valve, Pat and Jack, they flush their toilet, there's no reservoir there, okay? So these lift stations, these are the same ones that are used in Dollar General stores, spec'd in Vanderburgh County. They're a 70-gallon capacity. So let's say we have a thunderstorm, your guys' mains are overflowing, electricity's out. They can still use the restroom because there's still a 70-gallon capacity in there, flush their toilets 25 times. Electricity comes back on, it pumps it back down. So there's not that instantaneous shut off, you know? But there is an alarm system with it that would tell them when it is working or when it isn't. It's also would have an alarm system that would be tied to their system that will notify them also, that notify the town of town employees that that system's not working. But if it's down for 2 or 3 hours, business as usual, it's no big deal, you know? But when you just shut that valve off, it's just game off.
Right, yeah, they're
Just
done.
for my ignorance, on the layout of all that at your house down there, where are you talking? I'm assuming it's from the west side of the house to
The
in
west-
between there and the lift station.
Southwest corner of that house. of
So
their
it'll be
house.
right on that, right there on the house?
Yep, and it'll run straight west to the lift station.
Okay.
It's basically gonna be like one of our force mains.
Right.
It's gonna pump right there.
And it's not a big, ungodly looking structure. It's a disc, it looks like the top of a septic.
Yeah.
I was very interested in what Keith explained to us.
Well, just from reading the different bids, I've had these since last night, so I was able to look through them and understand them to the best of my ability. And then this one showed up today, and it absolutely seems like the more foolproof plan.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Keith even talked about dropping an outlet over there in case we wanted to put it, worst case scenario, we could take one of our little 110 generators, plug it in over and fire it up, and it would pump her down. You know, and it would have that option.
Yeah, and then, I guess for a little bit of clarification, we all ran through this about 50 times, you
Yeah.
know, trying to figure out exactly to get the, you know, the liability off the town and get the mess off of their hands. Because here's the deal, everybody's been and lived to somewhere where we had a septic system that backed up.
Yeah.
Well, that's your septic system. That stuff that's running in theirs is everybody else's septic system. So that going on for that long, we gotta pretty much guarantee that we can't get, that, you know, we gotta isolate that as much as possible. Number two, the electric that he was talking about, there is 2 different options. And this is really something to think about. And I don't know how it works legally or whatever. That pump, you guys will own it, basically. You guys will have the responsibility for the upkeep. And I'm sure that attorney would be able to do the documentation and everything for that. My one concern is I'm running electricity off of you guys back up to there, is that's savings and fine. But what happened in an event that your 3-phase 480 pumps are down, and you gotta shut all that down, shut the power off of that for 2 or 3 days while your bypass pump moves? You're either, one, gonna have to be running a generator. 2, if it hooks to theirs, let's say that pump it burns $50 a year is what it states. Well, that's $600 a year, so they get $600 a year stipend, but it's on their electricity. So when their house is down, it's down. But if you got a big construction problem or big construction, you're gonna have that electric down there in the way for being able to continue doing business. That would be the only thought in my head. I'm not saying one way, either way is right or wrong. I'm just saying that there's little things to think about along those lines that, you know, it's not a big cost savings or expense for the electric on the thing, but it goes with that, it would, you know, that kind of goes with the house.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got to dig that out, you know, it's just one of those things that is another thought to put into it. You know, the way it's figured is the most expensive way right now, because it's going out to the other thing. The other way is not. So that's just kind of the thought process, that you guys don't have plans and don't know what's in my head, or, you know, don't know what is exactly going on because you haven't been there. I was just trying to give you a little bit more clarification on that.
I mean, everybody, like you said, everybody wants reliability in their house that they live in,
Yeah.
you know? So, me personally, I would rather rely on myself and you know what I'm saying? Instead of going to empowering off of us and then say, okay, it's gonna be okay, but you're gonna be down for a week because we gotta work on this lift station. Well, there we are, we're right back in the same boat again, you know? So, but we can run a generator. I don't know, Rick, what do you think? I mean, I don't
I
know.
think, if, I talked to him about this morning too, I let him see the box. If the power's on them, their power goes off, they know. Right then and there.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
And if they put a Generac system in or have a generator and they hook it up, they're golden. It's gonna pump right over, our pump's gonna take it away. So, ultimately, this is kind of above my pay grade.
My opinion is it probably needs to be discussed. If I was the landowner, or, you know, probably needs to be discussed with the homeowners and make a fair decision between whatever the town and the homeowner can do. Personally, I'd like to see it on my own power source.
Yeah.
Just because I wouldn't rely on that, and who knows to see what the future is gonna bring. It all stays on
With the
on
house.
their property, other than basically the discharge line.
Well, and then you get into the situation of, if you guys do wanna sell it, that's kind of an issue that would be a question for me if I was buying your
Yeah,
house.
you can't sell to somebody and say, well, I've never had any problem with
Yeah.
getting anything in my basement, which would be a lie. And if you did sell it, somebody could come back on you and say, well, you lied to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And you can't lie, I mean, you
yeah,
know.
And then it can be GFCI protected too. You know, a little bit better, it's on their system, it's grounded. If it gets grounded to your system, it goes to ground.
yeah.
I mean, there's maybe a little bit of safety issue. I'm not an electrician, just a thought out loud of what, maybe try to eliminate a few later problems.
I mean, personally, I would want to
So-
have it on my system.
Just remind me, because I don't have the, I can dig through it and find it. When did this start?
When did this start?
Yeah,
About 25 years ago?
Yeah,
25 years. So for 25 years, you've been relying on us to take care of an issue
I
that
think
we
the first
created.
issue we ever had with it was in 2005. We got the paperwork at home.
That's when you had the flood.
Remember Mick Taylor and him was on the town board, he was president of town board at that
Yeah, it
time.
flooded twice because the lift station just couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
Right, and the town at that time assumed responsibility
Yeah,
and
they
paid for the
all the
repairs.
damages and stuff for.
Right.
We took all the carpet out, we drug it up the stairs, we towed it up.
So you guys did a lot of the work yourselves.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Because the lift station had been moved.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah, we lived there 17 years before we'd had it, because she called me at the station, told me I had water in the basement, I said, okay. This is not April Fools, you know. And so, I come home, yeah, we had about 6 inches of water in our basement, well, it wasn't water, it was sewer.
And it just makes me sick knowing, when it rains, I don't want it to rain anymore, you know?
so,
I
That's,
just,
that's horrible.
so this quote here is
That's everything.
the most expensive.
Yeah,
If
that's
we,
all.
if we went with putting it on her own, putting it on their electric, this would be a little bit cheaper,
Yeah. Yeah,
not by much.
probably $400 or $500, I mean, at
Right,
most.
so,
One, because
And
there's a
then-
transformer.
and then we would just
Yeah.
we just make an ordinance for that property that we pay them a stipend every year,
We can do it that way, yeah.
and then it's in the ordinance, and it can't go away unless it's voted away.
Yeah, and we could put it, with that property, so if they sold it, it would continue on
Right,
with that property.
and that's what I was kind of
Yes.
worried about, was in case it changes hands.
Yes.
To make sure it stays. And then, do we need to get paperwork as far as easement to have, because we'll have to have access if we're maintaining the pump.
Utility easement,
So we'll
yes.
have to have a utility easement to get to the pump. So we'll have to work that out with them.
Mhm. We just need, if you can give me a legal description and a survey of where the utility easement would be, then my office can draft it.
Good. Catch all that? Did you write that down?
I've got it right.
It's been recorded. You can watch it later. All right. Well, with all that discussed and said, I'm ready to lay 25 years worth of
To waste.
oversight. Of an oversight. We're not gonna point fingers. Things happen. But I would like to lay it to rest. If you agree,
Yes.
I am going to make a motion to approve Keith Dyke to install lifts, an E1 lift station on the Wilder
Wilder.
property for the amount of $21,575.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, now it's just the work getting done. And then that will be taken care of. I hope. And once we get I think we can go ahead and go with it'll be on their system. We'll get we'll get those ordinance.
Could they start on it before the easement deals got drafted up?
I think so, since, because they own the property, so as long as we can get an easement to it, and it's just a utility easement, it'd just be, like she said, a survey for the specific area that we need to go through the yard to get to it, and the area where the pump is gonna
So
be.
what is it we have to do?
You shouldn't have to sign a paper once we get it ready for you.
I need a legal description for the whole property, and the easement for the ordinance and for the deed for the easement. So I need the legal description for both things.
Okay. All right.
So,
I'll
do
call
you
you
have,
later.
do you have that at home?
I could probably find it.
Well, you're gonna have to get a survey anyway, so the surveyor will.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And we'll
Shut it off, I probably wouldn't have did that.
all right. All right.
Sorry about that.
Rick, do you have anything else?
That's on video.
I'm not sure you can't do that.
We're gonna keep this, I'll wait.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
That was pretty interesting. We're gonna replace that hydrant out on 68 tomorrow morning,
Okay.
when it isn't working. We have it in, so we're gonna try to get that done in the morning. That's about it. I'm good, we're doing the other stuff, so.
Billy, do you have anything else?
No, I'm still here, waiting to hear something about checklists and Burger's Way.
So I actually contacted Jack, and he spoke with the surveyor today. The surveyor is supposed to be looking into some more things. We don't have a definitive answer yet, but it's looking like we're gonna be okay. But we just gotta get all the yays from everybody, so. We'll probably get that one put to rest too. That's been a year and a half now.
Right.
Okay. Roger is not here. Roger did contact me earlier, whenever he found out that he wasn't gonna be here. Rock Road and Scott Street,
Yeah,
yes.
that exists.
So, at the intersection of Rock Road and Scott Street, there are a bunch of the residents in that area that are worried about their children and their animals because people flying up and down that road. Roger said that they ran radar on that road, and they caught at least one person running 55 and a 20 down that road. And that is a very skinny, it's not even really the town road, it's a county road that the town got part of it, and it's super skinny.
That's what new pavement, that's what.
Yeah. They're requesting a three-way stop there. I didn't really plan on making a motion on it today,
No.
but,
Yeah,
I
that's-
wanted to bring that up so that we didn't forget about it. It could be in minutes.
And you would need agendas also, for the new neighbors,
Right, but we could make a motion
to do that.
to get the process started. So, but for now, we're thinking about it, we're looking into it.
Yes.
Rock Road and Scott Street. It's a three-way intersection, that's it.
So the pig is.
Yes. There is a pig there. Is there, do you guys have anything else?
Is there, any, okay, Scott's property behind us, there hadn't been anything done to it since our last meeting. I'm just wanting to know, is there anything they're gonna be done? I mean, is there any fines?
I mean,
I mean, you know,
I called Barb, that works over here in this office, twice. And she said she notified the homeowner and said that their lawnmower belt broke. But I told her, I said, the 7 days was up, and I'm glad you brought it up because I was gonna bring it up to find out what we need to do.
A lawnmower won't cut it.
no.
No.
You'll need
And I
a bush on it.
I don't know what's in the grass. The grass is so tall, I'm afraid to send the guys
There's a
in.
lot of
All right.
weeds.
So, Scott, do you own that property?
Yeah. I didn't know it got that tall.
Oh, it's bad.
I
You-
would, do something about it.
You wanna go take care of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you okay if we just have
Yeah,
Scott go
because-
take care of it?
In that one area there by the building, between me and where Jeremy, what is his last name? Where
Burger.
they live down there, it's got so tall that it's washing out now it's washing down where my shrubs and stuff is. It's washing down in there, it's washed the roots away down in there, because the water is collecting down in there, because there's nowhere for it to go.
Okay.
So it's starting to cause problems in there, it's starting to wash that out. I can't even, I tried to mow in there, and the last time I had there, lawnmower blades hit the roots, and I had it all the way up high, so it's washing it out, because it's collecting down that one corner down there.
Scott, you got some equipment, you can handle that?
Yeah, I'll get my making screw on tomorrow, get the limbs straightened out a little more.
Thank you very much.
It's after it's on that, is that on Walnut?
That's on, Montgomery? Ward. I was wondering where I'm down. You guys are good? Keith, you're good? Just going through, make sure everybody gets their chance. You guys okay? Are you're all three together, correct? Okay. Just making sure, I don't wanna miss anybody. Everybody gets a chance. Mr. Wade?
Nothing.
I just wanted to say your name so everybody could hear that you was here. You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
We're gonna do the 360
You're on the
camera.
YouTube channel.
I do want to appreciate Pedro for hooking us up. He's behind the scenes right now, making sure we sound good and look pretty. Vanessa, you got anything else?
Yes, you have the adjustment right there.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed it. I forgot to put it in. Get this adjustment taken care of real quick. Did you not get this? Oh, sorry. It was last. It arrived right before the meeting started. Okay. All right.
There's only one form, yes.
Yep. All right, so this is for Tessa Hartman. Oh, Tessa Chambers, Hartman. That's all three. Okay. I will make a motion to approve the adjustment to Tessa Chambers Hartman water bill in the amount of $228.11, bringing the new bill to $196.05. That is only removing the sewer for the times and the amount of the unexpected leak. The water still has to be paid for.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Sandra, you got anything?
I do. I have the ordinance 1988-5 that I've read through. It's about animals and specifically fowls. I found some amendments that I can read through and you all can approve. And once we get it, if you approve it, then I can draft it and you guys can sign it. It's an ordinance regarding the control, care, and disposition of animals. I recommend changing the definition on section 1, part B, to Gibson County Animal Services, because before it was Gibson County Humane Society. And as far as fowls are concerned, I believe we need to change section R from 150 feet for fowl to 75 feet. Currently it says chickens or fowl must be kept 150 feet from any residence other than the residence of the owner of the chicken or fowl. It's quite a long distance, and I recommend changing that to 75 feet. Section 3 and Section 4 can be completely removed. We don't have fees and permits for animals. And Section 7 on redemption, again, it states the Gibson County Humane Society that needs to be changed to Animal Services. Gibson County Animal Services, and we need to add to show their immunization record in order to retrieve their animal. That's the recommendations that I would make. I can get those drafted into you all in short time.
Even at 75 feet, that's.
I can change it to whatever you want.
That's close. I mean, in town, if we're gonna allow them to be in town, that's a lot is normally what, 75 by 150? Is that roughly what a town lot is usually?
Yes.
I mean, so you're getting, I don't know, I don't wanna encourage everybody to
They're
start.
good bug control guys.
I don't want everybody to encourage to start having their own chickens in their yard, but.
We have 3 on it.
Well, we also don't want to discourage it either.
We don't
Yeah.
wanna discourage, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
We
just
don't-
worried about getting too close to somebody that doesn't want them.
I can
That's
change
all
it to
I'm
what,
worried
if you want to table it until next month, and you guys can decide what distance you want. But the other changes do need to be made, it needs to be updated and amended to reflect those changes. The distance can stay the same, I can do whatever you all want.
So, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the changes as read. Minus the 75 feet for now. We may make that smaller. But I don't know.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So look at foul distance. Yeah, I mean,
There'll be chickens everywhere. Yes, sir, please.
Your comment right there, are you gonna put a limit?
That's,
Cause
I
I
know.
don't care if my neighbor has 5 or 6 chickens, but I don't want him having 75 chickens.
yeah.
And running a chicken farm just on the other side of the fence.
But again, not to discourage, what's yours is yours.
You're not wrong,
Just have to
but
keep your chickens on a leash, and I got chickens.
We got 300 of them, so yeah.
They don't know property lines, is
That's
what I
right.
like to say, so. And I
And,
have,
and I'm just worried about, because here's the thing. We all live in very close proximity when you live in town. When you're out in the country, not so much. It's expected. Certain things are expected. In town, other things are expected, like a little bit of peace. As much as you can get in town, so I don't want to be adding to it.
you know what I'm saying? That's-
So my thing is, I don't want to discourage people from having a few for themselves, but I agree with your statement. I don't want my neighbor having 75 chickens either.
If they get 10, I agree, maybe they'll share an egg or two.
To what you say, what's yours is yours. We,
What is yours is yours too.
well, what I'm saying is you're right, but there's a certain point where
Neighbors gotta be neighbors.
neighbors gotta be neighbors, and that you can't come to the town because there's chickens running on your yard from your neighbors.
Exactly.
We don't wanna be having an
This shouldn't be
No
a
roosters,
discussion.
absolutely.
But it was a good comment, when you think
Yeah.
about it, you know,
Yeah.
then it becomes
Yeah,
a
everybody's
neighbor
problem.
problem. So, yeah,
And that's the other part of the ordinance where it talks about nuisance, because then at that point, what's yours is yours, and yours is
Yeah.
a big problem.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But what's yours is yours in town becomes what's everybody's.
That's what
When
you
it's in
gotta go
close
with. Yeah.
proximity, so
Yeah.
I understand.
so here's the thing. I've known this for a long time, but especially within the past 6 to 7 years being on the board. You're not gonna make everybody happy. But we're gonna try to make as many people happy as we can. So let us think on it a little bit, prepare ourselves for the backlash, and y'all have a good night. I'm going, with that being said,
I have a question,
okay, he's got one.
One more thing.
One simple question, and I think it's probably directed at Rick and Billy. When we come to our, letting bids, do we have a standard that we go by? Do we have a policy or an ordinance that we go by that steps out how we?
We have
how
state law, and I can get that to you.
We have what?
We have law, we do, and I can get that to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Good enough. And that's, yeah, that's what I
Yes,
was concerned
yes.
with. So, yeah.
so if the neighbor's chicken runs over there, can I fry it?
What's yours is yours.
Or in the main
At
side.
that point, it's a nuisance.
Keith, you got right away.
You have to make sure it's got
Yeah, you gotta
its
look
organization
at
first.
Let's get something out of it.
Then you get 2 generations of chicken in one meal.
All right, I make a motion to adjourn the June 3rd Owensville Town Council meeting at 7:39 PM.
I second.
All those in favor?